Hello everyone, Eric again with Have Knife Will Travel. Week 2 we're going to go over grits and artichokes. I realize that some of you may not have been able to get artichokes, but when this is all over you should be able to, so it's a good trick to learn. Yeah, so we're just going to do a few quick things. Blanch some artichokes, clean some artichokes, make some harissa. So let's get to it. All right, let's demystify the strange vegetable that is the artichoke. Baby artichoke, regular artichoke, doesn't really matter, it's the same idea. They have these little pointy bits on these leaves, so you want to be a little bit careful, but this is called turning an artichoke. Because we are literally just turning it with our thumb at the base. All right. The general rule of thumb is no green, really. So now that we have the sharp bits out of the way, here comes the fun part. I'm going to take a paring knife, small knife. You could even use a peeler if you'd like, but the stem, you just peel that off and come all the way up through. Be very delicate and small movements, just because the stem is actually edible. So if you break it off, you're going to be losing a part of the artichoke, which we don't want. Okay, so that is step 1 of cleaning an artichoke. And we get to step 2. Step 2 is we're going to cut the artichoke all the way in half lengthwise. And then take the top bit off just a little bit. Basically just so you don't see any like real green. Artichoke is counterintuitive in that fact that the green parts are actually the not edible parts. Okay, and then next up, I'll look at the anatomy of an artichoke up here. This feathery little bit, you may not be able to see it too well in the video, but once you actually open it up, you'll be able to see it. Little core. Cores are very typically not edible in vegetables, so you just, with a spoon, you just clean it out. Not too much. Okay. Cleaned artichoke. So then this is a fully cleaned artichoke. Now and then. All right, next up we're going to do the third step of preparing an artichoke. We have some water boiling, and we're going to add a copious amount of salt. Try to make it taste like the ocean. Obviously don't try to taste it right now because it's boiling, but so we have that boiling water with salt, and we're going to blanch the artichokes. If you ever try to eat artichoke right now, well, this artichoke, you would not have a very good time. So we're just going to blanch it, just let them go for a bit. Still not quite there. Let's see how the stem is still dragging a little bit. We want the water to actually press it all up. That's how we know it's done. All right, so these are done. Stems are soft. You can just barely put your fingernail in it. Yep, all good. So once they're done, just take them out of the water. Now that we have blanched artichokes, we've cleaned artichokes, and let's just go what we're doing next. I just pat them down dry with a paper towel. and then roll them up. This will protect them and make sure they're nice and dry for tomorrow. And then, I didn't throw any of those leaves away that we used to clean the artichoke, because we can actually eat those later, and I'll show you how to do that on Sunday. All right, we are going to make harissa. First step of making harissa is garlic. We want to take the garlic and we want to cut it all the way down the middle. What we're going to do with that is we're going to put that in a pot with oil. But this is a 1 day long process, so we have to do this part first. We have smoked paprika, cumin, coriander, a little smoked salt. This is a hot paprika and smoked paprika blend. The ratio is, this is 4 tablespoons, this is 2 tablespoons, this is 1 tablespoon. That's the ratio that I use when I make harissa. So we're going to mix this all together. I have 1 heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. And then that's all mixed up and ready to go for the next part. All right, next we're going to take the garlic that we just cut and put it in a pot. We're going to confit garlic. Confit is one of the easiest things to do in the world. So oil, this is a 1.5 quart pot. I'm going to put in approximately 2 cups. There we go. More importantly than the amount is it covering the garlic? Let's put in a little bit more. Garlic oil is never going to go bad. Okay. And then very simply, we're going to put it on the lowest setting that we can. Very, very low and slow. And we're going to wait approximately 20 minutes until you can actually see the oil bubbling. And then we're going to cover it and we're going to turn it off. If you have a gas oven and have an actual pilot, like I do, I cover it and I put it in the stove because the heat from the oven will continue to cook it. And we're going to do this for an entire day. All right, so now that the oil has very slowly come to a bubbly stage on very, very low heat, we're going to go ahead and turn it off and cover it with something heat resistant. Now we've covered the oil and the garlic, and we're going to let it steep for a day. That will let all the taste permeate. And then tomorrow, once it's cooled down, you can take the individual garlic cloves out and discard the stuff that we don't want to use, and then pour all that garlic oil and the garlic into that spice rub that we made. We are all prepped up for Sunday. Don't forget to put your garlic confit in with the spices tomorrow, and then we'll see everybody on Sunday, 5 o'clock. Artichokes for some of us, polenta for all of us. All right, see you Sunday.